Let's see you dance! Yeah. Chemical catalyst rattling, never hazardous. Subdued by all my memories, but never been a pacifist. So quick to put up the fist. It's hard to resist, but I just might lose control. So shoot, and I never do miss. I gotta take risk if I wanna have it all. So let go of the poison, the venom. I'm sending. The voices are spinning with the visions already. Got the pictures of my prophecy. Develop my philosophy. Woke up in the morning, told the world to get back off of me. Yeah, and still the nightmares creeping up at night. I'm a fragment in the mirror, seeing black and white. Like who is me and who is gonna take me over? My soul is my soul in the eyes of the beholder. Yeah, and now there's darkness in the chaos. Try to see the light, hope the positives will pay off. Ain't no time for stressing when the time is of this essence. Take these two fists and swing them back into your direction. Cause that's the way I got it. And don't it sound a doom, always sound so melodic. Looking to the future, know the end is coming near. Even though I'm standing tall in the face of all this fear. Clear, busy serving life like a sentence. Gotta stay strong, that's the reason I'm so vicious. A barking dog, take it all, never fall. You ringing for the champ, and I'm the one who get the call. So let me tell you a little something about this life. You can commit to the game and you can commit to fight. But the thing is that with every passing of the night, nobody actually makes it out of this world alive. So what you gotta do is put your powers to the test. Time is passing, so you better spend your time the best. So who you gonna be when the reaper come knocking? Actions speak louder than words, so stop talking. Yeah, so watch me break out of this cage. I fight now, I won't change. Yeah, and it's the passing of the days. So get back and just get up out my way. Yeah, so watch me break out of this cage. I fight now, I won't change. Yeah, and it's the passing of the days. So get back and just get up out my way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the Georgia Street Fighter 5 Scene Community Podcast Discussion Group. I am your moderator for this event this evening, Shadow Ace, and of course, I always want to first thank Sir Retro for agreeing to host this discussion. The reason I have assembled Sir Retro, it's going to be a little bit different today. Normally, we have a good old guest here within the Georgia community scene, at least for season one. Talk to you guys and give you guys a bit of perspective on how they feel about about Street Fighter Five and the community in whole. But this one is going to be a bit of more of a recap. I'm working on trying to get guests in for episode 9. But this is sort of like a Persuado, off the top, 8.5, like a filler arc in anime, if you will, before the road to episode 9, basically. And what we're going to do here is basically give a recap and go over a few topics of discussion, and just to give you guys a little something before finalizing the details of episode 9, because we are getting closer and closer and closer to that season finale. And let me just tell you right now, if you've been tuning in regularly to this podcast and supporting us since the beginning, you guys are in for a treat for the season finale for sure, man. It's going to be a banger. But let's do a little introduction. Let me introduce you guys. This is Sir Retro himself, the man on the ones and twos, the mayor of Macon. Good Sir Retro, how are you doing today?
Whew, I'm here, man. I'm doing well.
Oof, you sound exhausted.
Yeah.
Long weekend?
Well, yes. And fortunately, I had a death in the family that happened earlier today.
Oh,
But you know, of course, I had talked to the family and everything like that. And of course, I'm doing a lot better. I'm more still, if anything, I'm actually still motivated. More than ever. To keep pressing on and everything. But I'm doing good. Yeah. And then, of course,
condolences to you and your family, man.
yeah, of course, as you guys may know, actually moving to a new place and definitely a much better place soon. So I'm looking
Okay,
forward to that.
okay, and that'll be this weekend, right? That you'll be moving to your new home, right?
Yep, that is true. Um,
Okay.
definitely, yeah, it's oh man. the a long term effect that's going to happen as a result of moving. Definitely personally for me, but and my girl, but also what I can do more provided for the scene too. So yeah.
Okay, big upgrades, man. Big upgrades. That's what's up, man. Yeah, this is Shadow Ace. Of course, I'm a player, commentator, podcaster, a man of many hats. To here, long time play, yeah, long time worker here in the Georgia FGC community. Mainly focused, on Street Fighter, on the Street Fighter scene in general, and trying to put the tools together to sort of just keep the scene going as much as possible. It's a difficult journey, but giving up is easy, right?
Mhm.
You can anybody can just be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm walking away and stuff like that. But you got to keep fighting, right? The name of the game is Street Fighter. You have to fight. So so we got to live by that philosophy, man. But thank you, Sir Retro, for joining me today on this episode. Well, no, it's not ninth episode. It is not the ninth episode. Wait a minute, scratch that. This episode will be a little different. Like I said in the beginning, like we'll call it the road to episode 9 because normally, again, we talk with local players here in Georgia, but this time we're just going to do like a recap discussion of recent local events that both of us were at this past weekend while it's still fresh on our minds. So yeah, this will be the 8.5, aka the filler arc, until we
Mhm.
can find some guests and for that episode 9 of the series. So last time we had Ice Effect hold it down for
Mm.
episode 8, and get the brilliant discussion that we had with him. So give their take on the Street Fighter 5 community and FGC meta in general. So if you guys missed out on that broadcast, you can please go back and check that episode on Reboot Retrocade Gaming's YouTube channel. And um, last time I seen Sir Retro, I believe was at the in person. Was at the Zone Breakers. There was the Zone Breakers at IHOP.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
That's true. That was the Yeah, that's true. That's the last time I've ever seen, man.
yeah, and that was I think that was like during the debut for KOF 15, that tournament that
Over
they
there.
had. They ran a couple of little.
Yeah, that's right. Cause I think that was one of the first KOF 15 tournaments, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Or no, wait. No, I think they did something before. I think around the time when the game came out. But yeah, like I said, but that was the first IHOP tournament for sure. I think. And dude, that I would definitely say that was an amazing experience. That was really cool.
Oh man, that tournament was
Mm.
so fun. It was a lot of space, good setups, pancakes, KOF, you can't go wrong. It was just an all around good vibe, man. It was the venue was really nice. Like that back room, I know I've seen the like when I went to IHOP, I know I've seen those rooms before. I know they normally have like parties and conferences and things like that in there. But the
Mm.
fact that Zone Breakers was able to convert that into like a tournament area was like ridiculous. And I took some pictures too of it. I was like, wow, this is a legit layout. And I was really impressed. Big shout outs to Zone Breakers, man. FGC for holding it down.
Oh man, yeah. Like I said definitely, man. 'Cause I said that's a really strong, a really great scene. I said if you guys have not been up there in near Morrow slash Fayetteville, Georgia, and y'all got live, especially I live there, definitely go support them. And I said also they're very solid anime players. Like I said from Round Blue to especially BB Tag. Um, in a few may have played, Dragon Ball in Persona for short, or stuff like that. But yeah, definitely. So it was a good experience, and of course to see like one thing I still miss about it, it was the food and the games and the fellowship.
And that's what it was about, man. That's what it was about. Really great time. And actually, I felt like it went too fast because when I went to the tournament, I signed in, I played a few casuals, the tournament ran, and then next thing I know, I looked at the clock and I was like, dang, it's time to go already.
I
But
know, man.
that's how you know, man. They say time flies when you're having fun. So
That's true.
I was like, dang, oh well, but good stuff, man. They host events regularly out there, supporting their community, doing big things out there. And speaking of that community, at that event, it
Hmm.
was Data Kraken, like Marco,
Yeah.
from the Data FGC. Yeah, so Marco was out there, and big of course that's the part of the group I'm associated with, and he's a big long time supporter of the KOF scene here in Georgia too as
Hmm.
well. And if you guys want to, play some KOF, man, or enter some KOF, this is one of the guys you want to talk to, because definitely it's a very strong scene here in this state. Some of the strongest players are actually within that group. So, if you guys want to run the sets in that, definitely hit up that group for Data FGC. Um, but the reason why I bring his name up is because I think this past weekend was the retro reboot tournament.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, the Retro Rivals tournament.
Yeah, what happened?
Dude, man. So this is, and like I said, this is also to the testament of how much Street Fighter Legacy has carried on, because we decided to end up having 3 Street Fighter games with addition to the Marvel 2, Marvel 3, and we had um what was it? Yeah, we had Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo. We had Third Strike, and we had Ultra Street Fighter 4. Then we had Marvel's Capcom 2, Marvel's Capcom 3. I kind of lowered my expectations a little bit because I wasn't sure with the weather, or if people would be interested to play or come in time because of work. But here's the coolest part: the the day we walked in and started setting up, 4 guys came in and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, we're having a tournament soon for Street Fighter 2, Marvel 2, this and this." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hey, well, I play Street Fighter 5 and Guilty Gear, but I'll join this tournament though, because this is pretty cool." And they all signed up, just
Wow.
walk-ins, and yeah, and they play Street Fighter
Wow.
5 and all. So it was like, huh. So now they, of course, we talked to them a little bit later about Street Fighter 5 was our next tournament for that, because they definitely want to come back. But it was the ultimate experience we were seeing after, shouts, definitely major shouts to Data in general, and shouts to, Nani and Marco to come out and to bring an amazing production. Shouts to my man Cliff and Ricardo for, or Big Boss DP, for the commentary, and everyone who brought the setups. The
Was
create. Go ahead.
uh, I'm sorry. Was Cliff the one that was commentating with Ricardo?
Yes. So he was
Yo,
actually planning to to commentate from the get go, because we weren't sure of if anyone else besides him were going to commentate, because he commentated for the first Retro Rival tournament last year, and he actually because he. I'm not sure he's still doing it, but he did this like side thing for like wrestling, because we have like a local Georgia wrestling thing going on in their town.
oh wow, he commentates that.
Yeah, he had like a manager or something like that for that. Yeah, so he does like promotions and so forth. But he's a phenomenal dude, and like he doesn't really dabble too much in gaming, but he has that that charisma and that voice, and with that
Mm,
experience with the management and the Georgia wrestling, independent wrestling, that really carries over. Because when he commentated with him, I commentated with him for Marvel 2 tournament. He does an amazing play by play, and I could throw in the
mm.
colors commentary side of it. Well, I worried about, oh no, well, should I try to fill in, or should I try to do this? It's like, of course, like he might have some questions, and it was a natural it was natural, and it worked the same way when he did with Ricardo or Big Boss the P. in this tournament. So major shouts to him and also Big Boss DP, trying to dip his toe in the commentary. And like I said, it maybe not been games that they fully knew, but they know about the legacy of Street Fighter, know about the game itself, but they didn't know, like, maybe not the specific details, but they did it in a way that is like they talk about the game. And that's all that matters.
I mean, they did an amazing job. Like I was looking at it. The color commentary was legit from both of them, and Ricardo,
Mm.
he did a good job, man. I was really impressed. He felt, I felt like he had that natural instinct to, just to talk, discuss. He added in his own philosophy, what he thought about this, that, and the third. And then, like you said, Cliff using his expertise about him. He manages his events, and when he was doing commentary, I was like, and then plus the production on top of that, I was glued in. I was like cued in on what they were saying during the match because that's how good it was. Like the play by play was legit. F- you know 5 stars, 10 out of 10, easy. 10 out of 10, easy. Really good job, man. But that event looked like it was fun. It had you guys had numbers in every bracket, in every part of the, every game that happened. You guys had entrance.
Yeah.
You know,
And like, yeah, Street Fighters had more interest in Marvel 2, Marvel 3, but still, even then, it's like you couldn't tell because the thing is, everybody, and I mean, this is to a bit of my dismay, because as TO, you have to deal with this a lot. Almost everyone, at least half of the people played every game, almost every game. Yeah, people
and that,
played 3 games. People had played 2 games. There were people who played all 5 games. Cause I was like, "Hey, which one to enter?" He was like, "Everything," and I was like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yep, everything." And
put me down for the special. All of it,
also,
all of it.
but I didn't ask any questions because all they did was put money in my hand. Like, all right, cool.
All right, we'll put you in.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Uh,
They ran the gauntlet that day. I think the player by the name of Cable.
yep.
Yeah, I know he has numbers right behind his name, but
Yeah, 38,
I
58.
just yeah. So Cable is literally like when I heard about the first retro rivals, I think they did really good in that tournament as well and won Marvel 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, they're a really strong player, man. I like every time I was looking at the bracket, they were within the top three.
hmm
Top three.
Yeah, because actually we talked about the history, and I introduced Marco to Cable and Dice, because the main two big locals, because they've been playing that game for a very very long time. Because we used to have an old mall in Macon, and we had it. They had no, it was the classic arcade scene. You know, hey, the arcade's supposed to close or the mall closed at 9. The guy was like, look, we gonna stay to midnight. He lock it halfway. People come in and they'll tell stories like, no, he used to play all the time. Third Strike, Super Turbo, Marvel 2, play the cabinet, run to midnight, and they leave and call it a day. And they used to travel to like Augusta, Atlanta to compete. And I remember from Dice, he said Final Round 7 was his very first one. Um,
Wow.
yeah, that's how long it has been. That's how much they have to travel, compete a lot. And of course, Marco and Dice was discussing about these old names, and those games and a few other stuff. And then of course, like I said, Cable, he moved back recently, last year, and that's really kind of sparked the older the retro fighting game situation because he'd been wanting to play. He knew Dice a while back, so he was like, "Hey, I'm the one played Marvel 2 for a long time." Let it up. As you know, he and Dice sat down because when I didn't met Dice till 2022. Woo boy, I've known him for almost 8 years, and So, and the thing is, I didn't know about him because I found about him because my friend told me that that he knows I like fighting games, and he told me about this bartender that plays fighting games. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I remember playing against Dice and Street Fighter and Third Strike, and when the way he plays, it was, and you saw it in the tournament too, again, especially against Kraken, because that grand finals was crazy. And the way he played, it was like, whoa. So he was like, and longest time he was like, man, well, I want someone playing Marvel 2. I want to play somebody in Street Fighter 3, and da da da. Then Cable came in. That sparked it. Same time, that same year, last year. Like I said, this is the same time when Street Fighter 5 as well. With just some reason, even with the pandemic, you had this blow up of the scene. And then you have this player named Cut West, who happens to now live in Macon. Moved from Cali. And if you watch Super Turbo, there was talks and talks and talks about this Super Turbo player that's dominating, and it was. And I told Marco, I'm like, you need to play this dude. You need to play this dude because this dude's good. And Cut West, came through. He been wanting to play Super Turbo, and we actually had some local players who don't play nothing but older fighting games. When he heard, all these older fighting game players coming through, shoot, he got excited. So he just started hopping in. That's the one. That's one of the guys enter everything, and then and then we have this girl. You saw her, the Ultra Street Fighter 4. I was excited for that because we called her the queen of Street Fighter 4 in our scene, Toe Goblin, and she is a solid Ibuki player. You'll see her you see, if you haven't watched it, yeah, her match, man,
She was she got top 4, didn't she? She was in.
Yeah, she got top 3.
She got top 4.
Yeah, she was the Buki player. And then like everyone else who played Street Fighter 4, they haven't touched that game in many of them haven't touched that game in years. That's how long it's been. But when I played against them, it's like they never lost that touch.
The legacy knowledge.
Yeah, because like
riding a bike.
So, because the thing is, she was first seeded because she was actually the best of us. One small story about her. It was so funny because at one point she had a hungover, and we was at Reboot years ago. I gotta find a video somewhere. It was 7 of us sitting around in a circle playing against her. I remember that she went on like a 10-win streak, eating food, recovering from her hangover. Her husband was feeding her food, and she was just killing with Ibuki. The mix-ups, the vortex, the kunai, everything, overhead. No, which way you gonna go? Like disappeared the combos, the resets. Oh my gosh, it was like I just watched. We was in awe. We like, dang. And this one guy, Metsu, he been wanting to play her, beat her for the longest time. The reason I threw it in because she been begging me to like. She's like, let me know we're gonna do Street Fighter 4. Let me know do Street Fighter 4. I'm like, all right, I got you. They've been wanting to happen for a long time, and you can tell the support for it was just phenomenal because it was crazy, and
wow.
They all tried Street Fighter 5, and they were like and they could go back to respect the Street Fighters and whatever, and it was just crazy to see see that, and then they said Mezu wanted to play her because they have a rivalry because they always went back and forth. His Bison against her Buki. He might switch to Guile, and she stays as Buki, and they went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So, like I said, I think that's what called that's part of the reason called retro rivals because everyone had a rival that they wanted to beat for the longest time. Where it been 20 years ago, would have been 10 years, 5 years, whatever years. So to see that play out, and it was just to me. You saw like all the nice matches. I saw a slaughter fest because everyone was like, "I'm after you. I'm after you. I want her." That's behind the scenes. That's all you heard. Cause like, everyone was pointing at each other, and they just wanted. It was a more calm. It was a more peaceful way to do it. But you saw the fierce in their eyes, the fierceness. They wanted that person. They wanted to beat down the person. And some managed to do so, some didn't. But they were like, you know what? I'll be back. I'll be back.
And that's what you want to hear, right? That's what you want to hear as a TO. That's what puts a smile on your face from ear to ear, hearing that people like, yo, when's the next one? When is the, I'll be back. I want the run back. Let's go. Let's get it. But big shout outs to Toe Goblin. Really, who's grand finals in Ultra? I think
So,
I
so
didn't catch that part.
so she lost to Charles Cable. So Cable doesn't really play Street Fighter like that. He plays like very conservative Sagat in Street Fighter 4, but he plays Sagat, and he was staying at one spot wherever he like gets knocked down, whatever, wherever he stayed at, that's he stayed at, and until you manage to knock him somewhere else. And he just like fireball, fireball. All right, uppercut. You jump in this direction, heavy kick, and like, yeah. So he beat her, and Metsu was the Bison player that played him in grand finals, and Metsu won.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, man. That event. I know people probably already asking you like, yo, when's number 4? When's Retro Rivals 4?
Oh yeah, I know, right? Now forget 3 number 3. But well,
But-
yeah, but yeah, I definitely.
oh no, oh sorry, that was the second one, right? That was the second
Yeah.
Retro Rivals.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Look at me going
No,
forward
you're
in
good
time.
because the thing is, it felt as overdue. Like even for last year, it felt as overdue. But I wanted to make sure that it was enough support from not only just our, but especially within our local scene first. Then before we try to have more people to come out, because I didn't want it to be like 7 Atlanta players and then 1, 2 local players and for the game that was it. But found out like I said, it ended up being like I said without yeah, because like majority of them were our own locals. That's it. The only person who was Atlanta was Kraken or Marco, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because he's the only one that
Marco
came.
was the only one from Atlanta, from the Atlanta area.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody else was local, and we had like I said,
Nice.
11, 12, or 10 for the Street Fighter games. We may have 5 or 6 for the Marvel games, but the thing they didn't care. They were like, I just want to play. I haven't played this in 5 years. I just want to play.
And you know what? That's the most interesting part to me is that um you said that someone was coming by, like was like just walking by, strolling here and there. They walk into the bar and they see you guys setting up, and I guess they approach you and they ask you, hey, what's going on over here? What's happening? And then you tell them like, yo, we got a tournament going on. Then they talk to you about their playing history, and then they tell you to sign up. That's how their origin story starts in the FGC.
Hmm.
What? Sir Retro, please. That's godlike, man. That is very exciting because you know what? I think that's just fate, man. That's just fate how it works out on people finding the scene, like discovering that there is a scene. Like that person, they probably didn't know that, you guys ran tournaments, or they just
Right, right.
just by chance just happened to come by and boom, there it is. Now that they know that you're running the tournaments, guess what's gonna happen? Guess what's gonna happen next time? Hey, you remember me? You told me about this tournament last time. I'm here. Sign me up.
Yeah,
Boom. Boom.
yeah,
And it just grows from there. It's like
yeah.
a chain effect. That person's gonna tell their friends. Then that person be like, all right, well, come with me. Come with me to this tournament. I just found it in Macon. Really nice venue. A lot of players there because when I was looking at the stream, when I was watching the stream, it was a lot of people. It was packed.
It,
It was
so
packed in there.
it was a crazy part about it because I got more accolades. The thing I got more accolades about it from the spectators more than the players because one of the girlfriends of Dice was like, she came to me like, I'm so glad that you doing this because it brings my boyfriend out of the house because you don't go nowhere and this. And then another guy's girlfriend was like, I'm happy for you doing this because this was so much fun to watch and everything. Like all the spectators were in awe about what was going on, and we didn't leave till 1 o'clock, but it was still a lot of people when we left that morning. I was there for 1. People came in at 5 after 5. We didn't leave till after 1 in the morning.
Dang. That's the typical TO time after the tournament. Uh, between 12 a.m. and 4
Hmm.
a.m. That's when the tournament is officially over for the
Yeah.
TOs. You
Yeah.
guys did. That's what's up, man. You guys had a really good event out there. Got some new players to come check it out, and it's just gonna keep growing from there, man. We had you were talking about your event,
Hmm.
but I guess I'll give you a recap of what was going on my neck of the woods during Atlanta because we both of our events were the same day, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make it down
Right.
there.
Right.
So we had Street Fighter Five one more round. Um, in Atlanta, and unfortunately, I didn't have the same luxury you did as far as people entering and
Hmm.
a good crowd and stuff like that. But we did get some new players, and that's what I'm the most proud of here.
That's good.
So yeah, yeah. So we had a Geef, we had a Bison,
Ooh.
and then we had a Cammy. So we had some
Oh,
new
great. Another
players.
Cammy.
Yeah, yeah. She's
Cool.
everywhere, the menace.
Well,
The
Nasri up.
menace,
There
yeah.
you go.
Oh my gosh. I bet knowledge is grinning from ear to ear right now. Yes, another Cammy.
Yeah, no, he's in the
But
he's in chat. I see you.
oh, he is? Oh, okay.
I
Well,
can see.
yeah, another one. Golly, man. Guys are like a plague out there. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, I like to see it, man. I like to see it. They entered the tournament. I had a first to 10 with a player by the name of Blaze. He was playing Seth. He was a Seth player. And he had switched to
Ooh, okay.
Ryu. He switched to Ryu and then Akuma. So he played a different variety of different characters when we played our set. But the fact that what I did, I just thanked them. I just thanked them for coming out, and I'm like, hey man, I appreciate you for taking your time to come out there and enter the event because ever since we started the one more round series, we've had new players come in every time. Like I've been seeing new faces. So and this is what that's the goal. That's the goal of the event is to just try to get this monthly thing happen. I know it's in our well, at least in our area, it's not as strong as it once was.
Right.
So the fact that it gives them some place to go to compete on on this Saturday, and it's a good feeling for me. So that's why I'm more line of the back end. I'm like I rather do the commentary and just watch the scene grow from here. Enter it if I got to, but other than that, I'm trying to watch the next generation come in because we had a younger players coming in, we had an older player come in, so it was a good variety and a good mix, and I think we're gonna keep that energy flowing for moving forward. So that's what's up, man. So new faces, new generation practicing for Street Fighter Six, and it
Mm,
kind of reminded me of the olden days because I
mm.
remember back in the Street Fighter 4 era, there were actually multiple events being held on the same day in our area. So it's like this group of players are gonna go to this event, or are this group of players gonna go to this event,
Mm.
and it was kind of like a retro quote unquote retro rivals, if you will, because you had these two venues hosting events on the same day.
Yeah.
Some people saw a problem with it. Some people say, okay, yo, man, yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, you had numbers for this event and you had numbers for that event.
Mm.
So it was always something going on as far as tournaments. But that's what's up, man. That's what's up. We'll try to keep you guys updated on far as like all of the events that goes forth. I know there's someone out there who may not even who may not know about the retro rival series. It's like, hey, that sounds fun. I play some Third Strike. I dabble a bit in some ST. When is the next one? Well, Sir Retro's gonna keep you posted on that. If you follow him on his social media, um, it was at Sir underscore Retro '08. You follow him on there. He makes sure you guys are updated, and he'll keep you posted on that. And if you guys want to check out the Street Fighter Five One More Round series. We want to. Well, I usually post an update on when registration is open. I'll even include like a clip of what was going on during the event too as well. So just want to try to at least keep the flames alive, man. Try to keep the flames alive because it is dwindling. The fire was like dim. It was very dim.
Mm.
Um, but like I said again, giving up is easy, right? You can always just
Hmm.
quit something and just walk away. But it's worth it when you try to build a foundation. And I just the reason why I was so adamant on trying to keep trying to run events because I look at it from my perspective when I was coming into the scene and I didn't know where to go for for games and stuff. Somebody reached out to me and guided me to the scene, like back in Street Fighter 4 era, olden days. There was always an event that was going on just about every week. We had a local venue. We had Battle and Brew.
Mm. Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we had Battle and Brew. We had a couple of different little spots that were doing events here and there. So I kind of leaned on the fact that we got all this going on here. Why can't the same thing happen for for this generation, for this newer generation? Why can't they have somewhere to go to run these sets? So that's kind of my philosophy about
Mm.
why I want to keep trying to do this.
Right.
Um, but yeah, man. But yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that feedback. So we're gonna dive right into just some quick topics,
All right.
real quick, and get and then we can even look at the chat. If the chat, if you guys got any questions, right now in the chat, you feel free to ask, and we'll be more than happy to answer. But in the meantime, so this actually kind of correlates. This question actually kind of relates to what's going on here, because there was two events this past weekend. People had to travel to get out there, and the question was, how do you manage tournament travel? Um, how do you manage tournament travel for going to events? Like, how do you make time to train, practice and stuff? What advice would you give to somebody that's looking to, I guess, try to find tournaments in their area or their scene, or just um trying to, just find casuals or something like that in their area? How would they go about doing that?
Mm. Yeah. So as far as like traveling, I said nowadays is really tough because like I said the economic status of things makes it a little bit harder to go through no come through like for people to no come to events and go here and there. Um, for me, I say even then, even in the time when the economic state wasn't that bad, many years before the pandemic, what to save money in general, carpooling was a big thing, especially having the people that are willing to go with you to the events. Like when we used to travel to Gwinnett Brawl or the data tournaments or anywhere in general, the first time like, hey, who I want to go, and they were like, yeah, I want to go, yeah, I want to go, and of course, it'd be me, and then if it's more than five people, we'd be like, hey, who's willing to carpool? Who's willing to drive up there? And we get it together. We just say, all right, we meet up here at this time. Meet up here at this time. We'll go together, and you have two cars full of like 4 or 5 people each, just going up to these events and drive back home. And of course, people will chip in for gas and so forth, make it easy on the person. And then that's of course one of the things is like the budgeting. And the thing is, people can might want to buy stuff or whatever. It's like figuring out and knowing. First of all, you want to know where you're going, what you're willing, where you're going to be doing, what you be using your money for. If you want to enter a tournament, not enter a tournament, but you want to get something to eat while you're out there. You want to go somewhere else after the tournament, before the tournament. Budget your money in the sense, what you plan to do. Of course, first and foremost, prioritize as what you're doing. It's like, hey, if you want to go somewhere, you need money for gas. So you make sure you prioritize that, set that aside, and then know how much it will cost to register for a tournament. then know how much food going to cost in the area if it's nearby or far away, whatever. So that's the main factors you have to like keep out for. The big factors, the big things you look out for is learning is food, gas, gaming, registration. As long as you have enough money for those three, wherever else follows, if you have your budget open for it, that's fine. But make sure you set your budget for those main three things. Um, and especially even with people, because I said you don't have to compete, but you might still want to eat and still want to chip in for gas. So any of those three things, like I said, you make sure you budget that. And of course, I would say also, you know, yeah, well, there's three things: food, gas, um,
And hotel too as well.
yeah,
Like
hotel.
you
So yeah,
paying for you.
I'm thinking
Yeah, you
about
paying for your shit.
I'm thinking like 1 day trip, like on a Saturday trip. But yeah,
Oh,
but no, but, but you're right. But that brings up so now, yeah, especially like we went to Evo, when you definitely go to somewhere for more than a day or so like that, you definitely want to make sure you're traveling is taken care of. You budget for that, and then budget for your money, your food, budget for registration, all that type of stuff. They said, yeah, hotel. Pick. Make sure you find the right hotel that has good quality service. And but it's not don't take a lot. It don't cost an arm and leg for sure. Definitely, and also you want to try to find it where it's nearby the event, where so that way you don't have to worry about. And if better, you can walk. Because when we went to Evo, because Evo's at Mandalay Bay, but then you had the Luxor and what's the one we actually stayed at was Excalibur, the Castle Hotel. But the cool thing about it, that had a local train thing that goes between the hotels, so you never really had to walk except to the train, and you can take the train to other hotels, get off there, go to the other venue, boom. So that's the thing you gotta look for. Because I used to do traveling because my mom used to work for the airlines, and we get a chance to travel to a lot of different states and stuff. But she always gave me some certain rules on how to plan to travel. So yeah, that's one of the main things you want to make sure where it's convenient for you, so you don't. If you can make it where you can travel as least as possible, so you can save money on taxi or Uber or whatever. But if you know that, yeah, know the environment. There we go. Research the environment, because that saves a lot on what you need to spend for transportation or food and whatever else. So that's one of the big things. Yeah, and of course you want to add something too on your end if I miss out.
yeah, yeah. That I do want to add on to that. You mentioned the environment, and this, I was just about to talk to my. I was just about to about my trip to CEO.
Yeah,
In
that's right.
Daytona.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, yeah. I was with look. Well, before I get to that, I was gonna talk about the tournament travel tips, but basically, yeah, you touched on a lot of good points. Budgeting, of course, is something that is very important to have when going out to an event, especially traveling out of state. You don't want to go out of state broke.
Oh yeah.
To be honestly, you want to be able to enjoy yourself. You want to be able to be like well, I guess I could starve today and then just eat tomorrow or something like that. No, no, you're not
Yeah,
supposed
you
to
don't want
do
to do that.
that. You don't want to do that. You're supposed when you go out, and it's not okay. Let's not even say fighting game stuff for vacation in general.
Yeah.
Vacation. If you're on a vacation, you're supposed to enjoy yourself. It's a relaxing time and environment to be away from everything. You left all of your problems, you left whatever it is that you were dealing with at home. You are out there to enjoy yourself, to celebrate you. So you don't want to go to another place and still stress yourself because you can't afford to eat, you can't afford to buy a souvenir, you can't afford to do this, that, and the third. You want to make sure that you are comfortable when you are going to travel, and I think that is definitely a key element Because if you go out of the state to another event broke and hungry, and you rationing what little money you have, just to make it through the event, you're gonna have a terrible time. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
terrible time. You want to be able to afford to eat something. You want to be able to afford to buy this shirt, buy this souvenir, buy this keychain, this coffee mug, or whatever. And you as a person need to make sure that you are budgeted well for traveling to an event. Set aside some money. Every paycheck, every pay period, set aside $50. Get another account, a travel account. I have
Hmm.
a travel account.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I need that too.
put some. You see, Retro has a travel account too. Put something a little to the side, every paycheck, so that way when it is time to go, you're able to afford to buy meals, buy souvenirs, buy whatever you need, to make sure you're good, even on gas. Because when I thought about it, gas was expensive. Gas is expensive now. It was well, it's still expensive. It's not as expensive as it was. It did the price gas prices
Mm,
did
oh
go down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, gas prices still went down. Still about $4 a gallon and some change. But the fact that when I thought about it, I spent because I'm driving from Georgia to CEO, so I'm driving from Atlanta to Georgia, or
Hmm.
the Daytona. So that's about $100. That was about $100 just to travel down there.
Good lord, man.
Yeah, yeah. The 100 just to go there and back. Right? So I'm like, yo, $200 just on gas to get there. But when I think about it, if I had took a plane or a bus or something like that, it kind of would have been a little bit more expensive. Well, plane wise, it would have. So I was like, okay, well that's fine. I think that's about a fair assessment of how much I would spend on gas because I do
Hmm.
drive a truck. So trucks are, depending on the model and make,
Right,
it's a
right.
gas guzzler. It takes gas. So that's fine. But I didn't stress too much about spending that much because I had put some aside for that particular reason. See what I'm saying? Like, oh man, should I? I'm almost on E. I only got 50, $60. Is it gonna get me?
Oh
Am I gonna
boy.
have enough to make it? Am I gonna make it? See, I had money set aside, so I was able to cover those expenses, and that's what you want to do when you travel. You want to make sure you have the funds to do so. Do not travel broke. Please do not do that.
Yeah.
That is definitely going to be a bad time for you, if you go that route. But yeah, I was about to talk about CEO, or what happened on my venture to CEO, and it was an interesting experience to say the least. Of course, we're in the pandemic now, so things are much different. Here, there was masks. There were some people had masks on, some didn't.
Hmm. Hmm.
There was coughing. There was reports that were coming in that someone tested positive for COVID that could have been at the event, potential exposure, this, that, and the third. So, as a person, you got that, you got that ringing in the back of your mind too as well. Like, dang man, am I gonna be safe if I go to this thing? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Uh, but it was a good time, man. It was a good time. I mean, I've never been to Daytona, so the fact that the beach was a nice front there. At nighttime, the night life was pretty lively. The sunrise was amazing.
Oh,
Man,
I did see so many
just
pictures though. Dude.
oh my God, man! It was. I felt like I was in. It felt like a dream, man. Like you see how you kind of see your Windows desktop, or you see a picture or
That
something that shows the
yeah.
beach. That shows
Uh,
the beach. That's what it looked like in person. I'm like, dang, I get to touch sand. I don't touch grass. I touch sand. So I was able to touch some sand, and I looked at the sunrise, and I
I'm
was like,
done.
yo, this is legit, man. This is legit. And then even in the hotel rooms, when you open the window, like because they had like a big screen, like a big patio window
Can
there.
you say
So
the
when you
resort
open it,
on the like the main?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, yeah, it was at the resort. So when you open the window, you could hear it. You could hear the waves crashing against the shore and stuff.
Ooh.
So that was like therapeutic right there, man. You had the air conditioning on too at the same time, so
Hey.
you was guaranteed some good sleep. So that was legit, man. That was legit. Now everything outside of the whole outside of the outside of the venue,
Yeah.
yeah, that's when it gets a little shady.
Yeah. Oh, I
That's
heard
when
the
it gets a
stories.
little shady.
I've seen some
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, man. Unfortunately, it is in that type of environment. But hopefully, I hope they go back to the Wyndham next year. I think they're at the Wyndham for CEO Taku this year, but they were at the Hilton. I mean, they were across the street from the Hilton, so in
Right,
Ocean
right.
Center. Yeah, but
Okay.
it was nice. It was really nice.
Um, of course, more, maybe a little more on it. Like, what? How was it with let's say seeing y'all guys to compete? How was that tournament experience there? The competition and the interaction with people though.
The interaction was good, man. I think people were a bit, I think they were a bit nervous. I felt nervous too, but I think they was like kind of like had that same energy where they were kind of quiet a little bit or like to themselves, which
Okay.
kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just given the environment. And again, this is kind of like the first offline major that I've been to in like over 2 years. So um, it was really good. It was a really good
Okay.
experience. I liked it. I liked it. I was able to meet some people that I've been working with commentating events online a lot. So being able to meet them offline was good. And
Okay.
being able to compete offline was amazing too, man.
I
Because
bet.
again, I haven't been in that environment in a long time, so I kind of had that drive to like after the tournament was over, I was like, dang man, I know I could have placed, I know I could have did better, I know I could have did this, that, and the third, and now it's like, dang, I want more, man. I want the run back. Give me the run back.
Mm.
So yeah, so it was nice, man. Good source of competition. The production was legit. Um, I guess yeah, I think the thing was that the walk was kind of brutal. I ain't gonna hold you because they
Okay.
had because they had the main ballroom.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the main ballroom here, like, and then they had like another ballroom. I mean, another room that's like all the way down. You had to walk a bit just to get to it. So you had to. So if
Oh
you had, if
wow.
you enter, yeah. So if you entered multiple games, you had to do a bit of traveling. You had to travel back and forth,
Ooh,
back and forth.
that's
So that was a bit much, but um, it was fun, man. I had a good time. The arcade land, the Jabali land was
oh
legit.
yeah,
Um,
I seen that. It was really cool
yeah,
pictures.
yeah, a lot of different arcades. So, and of course, Data FGC was there too as well. So they brought their cabinets,
Hmm.
and stuff. So it was really dope, man. It was a good experience. Unfortunately, it is in a shady area. I wish that wasn't the case,
Right,
but the
right.
fact that it was in Daytona, the beach again. I keep talking about the beach because it was an amazing experience. So we'll see what happens next year. I think next year, if that is the case, I know some people wanted to go that couldn't go this year. So mainly from the Ultra Street Fighter 4 crew, they
Mm.
wanted to come through out there. So I'm considering doing that. And again, if that is the case, if I do decide to go, guess what I'm gonna do, Retro?
But,
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my budget. I'm a budget.
all right.
I'm gonna put some funds to the side to make sure I have a good time if I do decide to go.
Okay. I would say both too, because like I said, I wanted to supposed to go with the guys, but of course, like I said, I was planning to move, so I had to change. I couldn't. I had to save money and everything for that. But the thing what I will say though, no, I'm actually happy that people from Middle Georgia managed to travel. Big Boss DP, Neil especially, D3 King, and I think one or two others, who also went from Middle Georgia, and they all competed. So I was happy to see our guys to go out, expand their horizons, and get that
Mm.
experience. That is more out there than what we have in the state of Georgia. And
Was
for,
Ricardo? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask yeah, because I talked with Ricardo. Was he the only one from that making that went? Because I know he said
No, so
he was
Neil
down
and
there with his family.
Neil was there. Well, cause
Oh
we
yeah, yeah,
claimed Neil.
Neil, yeah,
We
Neil.
know Neil's from Fayetteville originally, but we claim him in since he lived here in Macon. Well, since he's going to school in Mercer, but also D3
That's your
King.
son, right?
Yes, Paintbot
Neil, your son.
claims.
You was proud of your son that weekend because
Yes.
he won Sam show.
So I'm this is just a joke on this, but even though Paintbot claims him as a son, he claims raised him in Sam Show. Yeah, of course, I'll let the president of the United States of Georgia to have that custody for the moment, just for Sam Show. But as long as he's in Macon, he's my custody.
So you get him on the weekends. Yeah,
Exactly. But shouts to
you get him on the weekends.
yeah, shouts to
That's
Paintbot
what's
though
up.
for like yeah, I'll say shouts and Big Bates too, like demonstrating a very strong presence for Georgia, like
Mm, mm.
and then for to go against Violent Kane after he would they the Violent Kane win KOF 15 if I'm not mistaken or get like top placement.
I think it was. I don't know if he won, but I think it definitely was a top placement. Yeah, it definitely was a top
Yeah, because
placement.
I watched him play KOF and so forth, and then while I saw him in Sam Show, I was like, ooh. But him playing Neil and Sam Show was crazy. That
Mm.
0-2 deficit comeback was just yeah. But you know, and then of course Big Bates no took it over him, and then the finals, Georgia finals. So
You know what the interesting part about that is that
uh
during the I was watching Big Bates' match, and I think he had a controller issue because he didn't set his buttons before a match, so he unfortunately I think he got sent to losers.
huh.
Um, or no, did he? No, I'm sorry. I think did he go back to character select screen after the first match? I don't think he did. I think he kept playing because he was like in the moment,
Mm.
but I think he realized, oh man, I forgot to set my buttons, and I was
Oh.
and then me and Noisy Child, we was sitting next to each other. I was like, yo, Bates, really, bro? You gotta set your buttons. You gotta set your buttons.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it was fun, man. It was definitely fun, and the fact that Bates able to make that climb all the way to the grand finals against Neil, come on, bro.
Man,
Sheesh, that
yeah,
was crazy. Georgia grand finals.
I know, right?
Love to see. I love
Yeah,
it.
but I
I
said
love
like
it.
shout out to y'all, and then like D3 King for One Robbins was there for Good to Gear, so you know,
Okay.
like I said, you know, at least 2 or 3 make it nights. Well, I can't say make it nights because that's it's a long story of the bad term from Doggy Sandwich, but no, from guys from the Middle Georgia, yeah, Middle Georgia. No, shouts to them for no, also no taking some people with them in the pools. You know, if they
That's the
drown,
goal.
even some of them may have drowned, they pull some people with them.
That's what you got to do. It's like, yo, you know what? If I'm gonna go out this tournament, I'm taking somebody with me. Somebody got to come with me.
Yeah,
I
but
gotta, I gotta break even. That's how I do it. Like every time, if I'm in losers, I'm like, all right, I'm in losers. I'm trying to take at least 3 people with me, so that
hmm
way I won't feel bad. That's $15, or that's $25
right,
or
right.
something. But let's go.
Yeah, so you know, but I said I'm glad they managed to go out and experience. But what happened though, back in our Discord, who for those watching back at home, we were like, "Dang, we should have went there." Man, I didn't go there. Yo, y'all even let me know the next time I go. I wanted to go. So that pushed a motivation from everyone at our local home, local area to say, you know what, I need to be there. I need to start training. I need to start doing this. So, and that's really where that I like that influence of how much seeing someone to go out and represent your scene and do and they don't may not have to be like the best player, but they did their best and they you know made some placement and they decided to go out there and you're like, man, he went out there and did that. They went out there and did that. You know what?
Hmm.
I didn't go there next time.
Hmm.
And they're like, because they're like, man, I should have been there. So because that's why I saw, and I was like, well, guys, want to play next time? We want to plan how to travel. And like I said, that's one of motivations of keeping people interested in the scene. Pushing them like push yourself to go out and go back and tell the experience. Because like I said, that's how you learn about the world. You don't just read it in a history book. You go out. You can, if you have the opportunity, go out there and learn about it.
Mhm. And that's what and if even if it does come to a point where okay, maybe you have to dip into the travel funds to take care of something, um the fact that you even have that, you can put something to the side, and if it doesn't work out, best case scenario, what happens? What people can tend to do is, try to
Right.
carpool to the event, or try to run with somebody, to save on funds too, as well. That's another thing. But again, if you go out to an event, you want to make sure you have a good time, man. I think that's the most important thing, where you can afford to pay for this $40 pizza. Shout outs to Giovanni's or whatever the heck the name of that restaurant was. Man, look, the medium. It was I had ordered a medium chicken bacon ranch pizza or something, right, with
Mm.
some wings, and that was $40. Of course, I tipped my driver, but that almost came out to $50 just for that. I'm like, bruh, what is going on? But you know what? I was cool with it. I was like, okay, it's
Mm-mm-mm.
fine. Again, I put something to the side. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take the L. I've never eaten at this place before, so let's give it a shot. But again, that's what's up, man. I think we gave out some solid pointers and tips in regards to that for tournament traveling. But speaking of that, we could also this next question also can relate
Mm.
to it as well. Um, and I think this was a topic we discussed a bit earlier that we were going to do for the podcast, and it was to talk about FGC poverty, right? Tournament payouts, right?
Yep.
We was like, hmm, payouts. There was a post that I guess Hungrybox made at CEO.
Yep.
I guess he wasn't too fond of his payment for the placement he got, and I think the rebuttal from or the retort from Jim Bailey was, "Well, do better next time." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Dang, that was cold blooded." But I mean, is he right on that? I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't
okay.
know.
Now this is and it's not a shill or like a push or a little advertisement. But here's the thing: in this day and age, especially, because yeah, trust me, the day. Now, personally, I have not experienced that in our own scene because a lot of people know, and of course, for what we charge, people kind of expect, not gonna may not, depending on, not gonna get that much, and they're okay with it because many of them don't pursue it, as like a big income for them. However, you do may get some people that be like, man, I put $20 for this and I get back is like $2 or $7 for fourth place. Man, this crap. Whatever. But now, because there was another plot about it or a quote tweet from especially Mr. Sabin, aka NYC Furby, that or Antonio Sanchez or whoever, however you want to call him, that hey, there's Maturino, and that's something that now is a big thing that is happening is where you have this group of people who decided to put together a program where crowdfunding can help, add little pot money and stuff where and after some of their own expense or at companies, charities, whatever expenses. No, they decide the fact that the players don't have to worry about putting much money in and get a lot more out. And it's pretty much that. But like I said, okay. And Chris is saying, asking, are you doing for the love of the game or just love of the money? You know,
That's an
right?
interesting thing. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no,
Go
oh,
ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. Because no, that's I'm gonna go off on that because no, the thing is that in general, the and unfortunately, historically, and with competition and with money with the FTC, people want to make a lot of money. If not, and some, most part, it not may be a job, but it can be a good way to make money if there's a lot for it. But at the same time, you know, is turned to where many people are looking to it as an investment for a career or something else out of it, or some way to get money, and people would rather like quit their jobs or do this more often their actual job and say, hey, I can make $100 or $800 quick winning a tournament versus working 40 hours a week or this amount of hours a week to get paid this amount of time. But the thing is, it depends because, like I said, Jabali was right in the sense of getting better. Because the thing is, if you want to get a lot of money with depending on how the pot is divided for the top whatever 4, 8, 3, mainly the person first place gets a good chunk of money, at least more than half of the pot. But at the same time, it is where to pursue that in a consistent rate, you have to consistently be better. You have to consistently main top dog for a good chunk of time, a good majority, a lot of the time, if like at least 90, if not 100%. Because if you want to make $1,000 per week or month or almost a month or a short amount of time to make money and make it a consistent living for you, or that's yeah, and at the same time, it is seem like it's an overdue thing because the FTC has and instead of the term to poverty comes through, is that FTC always feel like it's been shorthanded when it came to finances or the luxury of having resources to provide a lot of money. And of course, at local scenes, the most you be at the local scene, you be lucky or yeah, I would say lucky. You'd be great to have something like $100 as a for someone to win. A major tournament you be like a couple thousand, and then something like Evo, maybe 5,000, almost 10,000. But it's where you look at both sides of the player wanting to trying to make money out the living off this and have this high expectation of it. And at the same time, it's like looking to the factors of what can go into making this money happen. Because people are like, well, we should charge entry fees more. We should charge this more. We should do this more. We should do this more. And we should invest this and more. But at the same time, those people, or the same people are like, well, we're broke. We don't have that type of money. Because would you be willing to pay $50 for a chance to win maybe $1,000 and $2,000 in first place or second place, whatever, versus putting $30 to win 1,000 in second or third or first place, whatever. Because the thing is, you can put a lot of money into it, but then it's depending on if you're guaranteed to win it. Because it's more factors than just there's many factors to how your skill determines how you're going to get placed. You gotta be. Are you going to be a really good player consistently to make it to that point? Because you have to be. And at the same time, are you willing to put this much money in, and so forth? Because that's what it takes. That's what the community is about. Community is where it's not just a TO to put money in and do all this stuff in and whatever to make things happen. The players have to contribute on their end as well, because that's how most of the time, if not all the time, the pot is made. And if we're lucky, we have the companies like SNK, Nintendo, maybe, or Capcom or whatever to say, you know what, put $5,000 more in here, put this amount in the morning. And the thing is, that doesn't come all the time. So as a result, the community has to make an effort to find a better way to put that. And I said Match Arena is a perfect example, because the thing is, majority of the time you can do stuff and put free money to the pot. If it's 50 cents at a time, yeah, but it's not your 50 cents at least.
That's the thing. When you at the end of the day, when you realize that this is a hobby and not a job, some people they'll try to make it a job,
Hmm.
and you shouldn't make it a job. You have to remember that this is a fighting game community.
Hmm.
It's video games, right? You spend money for the hobby, for trying to support your hobby, or you spend money to try to support the community or scene in general. So it's an investment, right? You're putting your money in. You want to have a good time. At the end of the day, it's like going to a movie. You go to a movie. Guess what happens?
Hmm.
You go to a movie, you watch the movie, you leave, right? You can't
Hmm.
go to the movie and you can't go to the movie, watch the movie, and then take the movie with you. You can't take the film with you. You're there to enjoy the event and leave. That's the the synopsis of it. Like
Right, right.
that's what it is. You can't take the film like you watch a movie, you watch Thor Love and Thunder or something. After Thor Love and Thunder is over with, you get up and you leave.
Hmm.
And you can't take the movie film with you. So the thing is, the reason why I say that is if people are expecting higher payouts, like Arturo said, there's Matcherino. I always encourage people to try to do the Matcherino for an event if it's supported. It's free money into the pot. Again, it's no cost to you. All you have to do is sign in whichever social media account you can. Click on that claim code, and it's going to automatically donate a free few cents into that pot, for the players. And if payout is an issue, just think about it. Back then, that's how much entry fee was for the tournaments. Retro. I'm
Guess how
talking
much?
about. I'm talking about. Let's go back. We gotta go back in time on this one. So let's say
Oh,
let's say 2009, 2010. How much do you think entry fee was?
dang it! Because
Just the just the just the venue
this
fee.
right before I joined the FGC.
Just give an estimate.
Was it like uh, okay, not including the game? Would be
No game fee.
what is like 50?
I want to say between 20 and 30.
Oh no, yeah,
For
no, all right, it's much cheaper. All right, it used to be much cheaper. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
20. No, no, I'm not talking about like for majors and stuff. I'm talking about locals, just
locals.
regular locals and
Okay, okay, I'm thinking of major.
like
Okay,
regular event.
yeah, cause yeah, I'll say 20 or something, like 10 or 20. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was about 20. It's about 20 to 30 just for the venue fee, and then there was $20 per game that you entered.
Oh,
Now,
oh, per game, Jesus.
yeah, yeah. So you got that on top. You spending at least. Let's do some math real quick. Let's say that the venue fee is 20. Let's say that the game that you entered, only decided to enter one game that day.
Mm-mm.
$20. That's 40. You're at 40. You had to pay for parking. Well, if it didn't have parking, um, parking is probably like what $10 or something just to park for the day.
Mm.
You pay your parking fee $50. You got to get something to eat. That's maybe another $10 right there. So you're up to $60 right there. So again, the point I'm trying to make is that it was much higher back then to try to go out to locally compete. So people didn't want to lose. They had a reason to try to be in the lab and be like, bro, these events, like today, when I hear or see people complain about a $10 venue fee, I said, are you serious?
Mm.
How are you gonna complain about a $10 venue fee? A $5 game entry fee, $15 just to play. That's trash. That's nothing. That's chump change. That's chump change, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $20 per game. So if you play multiple games, say you play 3 games, you're already up 60. You already at 60 plus the venue fee. So you're at 80 just to compete for the day.
Mm-mm.
Just to play for the day. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Like the point I'm trying to make is that for entering for players is like, okay, well, the payout is not that much. So why would I need to go to the event? Why should I compete? If I
Mm-hmm.
get first place, I'm not winning anything back. If you think about it, whatever the game fee was, whatever the venue fee was, you add that up plus the players that entered, you win the pot, right? But you might break even. You'll break even. Like, damn. Um I spent $15 to get in. Only 3 or 4 players entered, right? 5, 10, 15, 20. That's $20. I made a $5 profit just for winning the tournament.
Hmm.
So it's like, is it really is it really worth it for the players to try to go out there and compete? And to segue back to FGC Quiz, what he said that are you doing it for the love of the game or just for the love of the money? That's like a double sided. That's a double sided, two sides of the same coin because people, some people just do it for both. You know, they enjoy the game, but they want to be compensated for their time and that they're spending playing the game. And if they're not breaking, even if they win the tournament, they're not coming out with with big money or big pockets. They're not going to go to the event. They're not going to go to the event. Now, when you add two magical words to an event, that's when you get your entrance. And Retro, what do you think the two magic words are?
Hmm. I guess one's free money or free
Pot bonus.
prop bonus.
When you
Yeah.
use, yeah, when you add the word pot bonus to a game event, then that's when you get people sitting up in their chairs. Pot bonus, $100 for this game. Pot bonus, prizes, $50 for that. Because guess what? Now they're earning a profit from going to the event. Now they have a reason to get dressed and go.
Hmm.
So that's when you start to see different players start to show up for the event, and that's when they want to feel like they have, some they want to leave with something in their pockets. So that's kind of like a slippery slope on there. That's why I say it's two sides of the same coin because if you want to do it for the love of the game and the community, some people just don't care about that, like the money like that.
Right.
They just go out to support the game, they support the scene, and they just want to do fellowship with fellow gamers. And you flip that coin over on the other side, and that's when you get the people that be like, bro, why would I need to go to this event when I could just sit here and chill and not waste my gas to go to there? Because $5 is probably enough to get you to the event and back. Or $5 might be just for food or like a drink or something. That like they don't see the profit of even if they win the event. Like, oh, what's the point? So they don't go. But if you add in that magic to those magical two words into your event, hot bonus, then that's where you get the people like, all right, let me sit up real quick and let me see what my schedule looking like. Maybe I can make it out to this event. But yeah, that's but yeah, that's primarily what I want to address there as far as like FGC poverty and stuff like that. How people, there are ways to try to increase the pot. The for as a TO,
Hmm.
um, for you, Sir Retro, your entry fee for your tournament was 10, right? It was 10 to get in, and then how much was it per game?
Yeah. For usually I do for now for certain tournaments with the swag on nerds. Yeah, there's 10 to get in and 5 for each game. But then for locals it's 5 and 5, 5 for venue fee and 5 per game.
Look at
And
that. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
mhm.
$10 to
so
enter your game.
so the thing is, then if
Come on, bro.
depending on how many people enter, if you
Mhm.
had 10 people, for example, for Street Fighter or whatever, you get third place, you get your $5 back. You know,
Mm.
you get 10% back. So yeah, 5 times 50. Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, you still get a little bit of your money back. Or get some your money, your $5 back. So all not lost. But the thing is that we will have to adjust accordingly because we that's the other thing too. Like us also is where knowing your audience and have people to want to come back to is putting is knowing like knowing how much they willing to spend because you can tell if like what they have and what they owe personally if in a sense almost in a sense like what they want to spend. So you're like, okay, $10 won't push for it. No, won't hurt no one. for the venue fee or whatever. If you do that, and and you say $5, per game or $10 per game, whatever like that, it may seem to deter people, but it depends on the audience. But then if you say, hey, well, part of this money is going to add more to the pot or something like that, people are like, okay, cool, that's fine. So, and then if you do something like if 32 people enter, we'll put in more money. We'll pay out top 8. I know, like, that depends with Gwinnett's Brawl, and a few other tournaments. If a certain amount of people enter, then that prize pool will expand across more players, more placements. So you get top 8, you're good. You get a little bit of your money back. But like I said, it depends on and that's people. That's the thing that players and people have to understand, that what this community is. It's not about TOs, doing all the stuff and everything to make all this pop bonuses and everything like that magically happen. The players determine how the scene functions and determines the payout, determines other factors. Because a lot of people look at the TOs and say, well, the TO's getting all this money and this and this and this, or this pot is coming in. They're like, no. When y'all guys put in this money for this game, you're investing to what you might get a chance to get back. If not many people are doing it, you're not going to get much out of it. It is directly proportional. We did our half, our job as TOs to put the venue together, get the equipment together, make sure the stream is good, put the setups, put the lights, put the camera, put all this stuff.
They don't see that. They don't see it, Retro.
Right.
They don't see that part of the equation. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's what, like, man, TOs, man, you guys go through it, man. You
Right.
guys go through it, because it's they don't see the red tape. They don't see the stuff that happens behind the scene, the production, the scheduling, the organizing, the setting up, the renting. It's a lot, it's a lot that a company or people have to do to just put an event together in general. And then the fact that players, some players might want to come in and be the bad act, the bad apple in the bunch, and say, oh, you guys don't pay out nothing, and this, that, and the third, and I didn't win that much. There's no point in going to this event. Why am I supporting this event? Like, you have those type of mentalities and attitudes that just kind of like sours the whole event, man. Because it's like, why are you thinking this way? You have to think about it. The people that put these events together, they're spending more. They're spending more just to try to host this event.
And
And you want to complain about a $5, a $10, a $15 payout for winning a tournament?
Here's the best part, especially in local, the majority of the time, if anything, the TOs don't get paid at all. That's the funnier part. The players are the only ones that mostly get paid for this. Like me, for example, I don't get paid for doing this. I've not got paid in 5 years for doing this. The money that, and I'll say this, being transparent, the money that goes in for the venue fee, we get part of that, but if not all of it. And the thing is, that goes to, guess what it's for. The reason why this new esport monitors, that was the money ended up being for. We got esport monitors now. In the future, we're looking forward to upgrade some equipment for our laptop, headphones, microphones, all that type of stuff. That's the thing, is where we put money in to better the equipment and better resources for the community.
Right.
So we don't be selfish. There has been a few. There are a few that try to make money off of it. Like, same case with the players trying to make a lot of money off of this, almost as a living. There are people, some TOs are trying to do it off as a living, and so forth. And it depends. If you're a really, really, really good TO and you can easily get money and bring thousands of people to your event every time, and so forth. Then and you can keep doing that as long as you can. That's fine. It's just where, for the most part, if you're ultimately focused on that, and you can't consistently do where it will be profitable for you or work out for you, then you can't get upset or mad when it doesn't work out. When it doesn't consistently work out, you don't get paid much for it. So like I said, that's the thing. But as far as the players, the funniest thing about it, you don't. Yeah, like I said, compared to the work, the players, all they have to do is walk in, pay their money, sit down, play the game, get up, and leave. That's all they have to do. Bring the controller.
That's it.
You know. So I may be a little preaching moment, but that's just that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, and it's weird to see. It's not weird, but it's sad to see this cycle of argument over and over again, and it has not changed for God knows how long. And this is like, and you're like, we've been here before. And you're like, well, I don't get paid for this, or the TO does this, and why? We need this and this and this. We need PCs in the scene or whatever. I'm like, where's the money going to come from? It's not like a city official or Coca-Cola is going to walk in and say, you know what? Here's $1 million. There you go. We don't care. We don't want nothing from it or whatever. You have all this equipment in the world, and boom. The perfect world. I wish that could happen. Just money drop on us from the sky, and we could have all the best equipment, the best refresh rate, the best, system, console, PC, whatever out there, and 500 setups, and everyone can play their games, and we're done within 2 hours. That paradise. Trust me. If anything, TOs would love that way more than anything, because that's a lot of work that'd be taken off of them. And the thing is, you don't have to worry about. Like I said, the thing is, they can leave. If they can have their own legit venue where just that, where they don't have to worry about putting up this stuff together, bringing their own controllers, bringing their own PC or whatever to equip. That money was just boom, and as you have your equipment that's dedicated for all that. I would like to get there one day, but now in the reality that we're in, this is why we are part of the community. If you're a spectator, if you're a player, if you're a tournament organizer, if you're a commentator, even if a viewer, the community is where people work together and come together and operate as a one unit. Community with one.
Unity.
With one. Within one, yeah. And that's what that term is. And that, like I said, I provide, as TOs, we provide resources and stuff for y'all. Y'all come and enjoy yourselves. Y'all thank us for our services. If y'all guys want to give us gifts and whatever for us, we appreciate it. And like I said, and I'm because I'm not this is part of where I had experience in the past, where I had some people complain, but there's also in general, because I see it every day, especially on Twitter, this situation, and it's like at times have forgotten what the term community is. Like I said, the Super Turbos, the Retro Rivals 2 tournament that happened this past weekend. The players were so grateful, and let's say these are older players. They're like, "Man, I played for 25 years, but dude, you did an awesome job. We love you, and this and this, But me, I was like, I need a drink, cause there was some stuff that happened at one point, and I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous," and this was a holdup. But the thing is, I did my best to communicate. I say, "I'm sorry, I'm frustrated right now because this is happening. This is the delay. Blah 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 blah." And they're like, "You know what? The fact that you put this together, what really matters. Like, I don't care. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm enjoying myself." Oh yeah, that's the funny. This is, I know, like off back, but it kind of recycle back to it. So everyone got lit. at that tournament. Everyone got lit. Everyone,
Oh my gosh!
and
Hey,
and then Dice. I would say I'm not gonna call him out like that, but like Dice, the funniest part about it was when he won both Third Strike and Marvel 2, he was like, "Bruh, I spent all my money on the shots, but I don't care." But he
it
like,
was worth it. He was
yeah,
celebrating.
because he was like, it's not about the money. It was about the experience,
Mm, right,
and
right.
it was really cool to get a lot of that, from the older generation of players. How can you? Yeah, it's really cool. If you talk to him, Cable, you know, Toe Goblin. Well, I say she's in our generation, but like even those players that play the older games, though, and I say even from y'all, when to talk to y'all and it's like, it seems you see, the guys like, I'm just here to, cause I've played this game 10 years. I just want to play games and have fun. I just want to press buttons. And you see this new generation is like, well, I want to make money off of this. I want this, all this. I'm like, that's fine and all, but you're going to be dissatisfied, because if you just come in trying to make money and so forth, but you get beat by somebody, you can get frustrated and you're going to get really upset and you're going to be like, what I'm doing with my life. And I'm saying that, the FTC can be, and I say this for myself. I have at the point, the FTC can mean something a lot more to than a hobby to many people, and I understand that because it gave people motivation, a reason to live, or a reason to keep going in life, especially because many people have found chance to make money, but more than that, many people have found a family. Many people have found something that they can have, they can look forward to, get them happy out when they go through depression or anxiety or whatever mental situation they're going through, you know. And I understand that is where we have gone away from is where it's not that we okay, this is a hobby, doesn't matter. It's you don't let your desires that doesn't you don't let your desires overtake you and what overtake you and to the point where without it you're nothing or you're not going to make money or this is the end of you. You know, is FGC can be created as an important entity and unit and aspect in life. In a good way for sure, definitely, and that's why that's why I'm here to want people to do that. But at the same time, it's where you don't want to over load that and say if I don't make enough money, this is no, I hate this group, or this is you have to understand, you know, you have to understand there's more than to it. What makes the community, and at the same time is where it's like okay, well I didn't make that much money today. Well, maybe if I can help contribute some more money to it, or maybe if I can talk to somebody to help put more money in the pot, or maybe I can put a match arena next time, or suggest this, or suggest that.
What can
Then,
you do to improve the situation?
right there you go. So that's where the people have to really look at, because if you're looking at this for yourself, that's where it really like it kills that concept of what
Snowball.
community is. Yeah, because you're not doing
Yeah.
it for the community, you're doing it for yourself. Yeah,
You're trying to turn a profit, and you're trying to turn a penny into a dollar by having you want to make sure your pockets can get lined up, and you walk out here or you break even with an event. And again, that's one of the trials and tribulations that TOs have to go through is the mental stress that it can cause. We've fortunately I've been in plenty of events where or a certain event where the TO actually left mid tournament, right? And everybody was
hmm
I think what it was, there was an event at this particular location, and things were going wrong. The it was using the wrong version of the game, and he tried to somebody tried to inform the TO about it, and next thing we know, the TO's not even in the building anymore, and we looking around, and the TO is gone, right? And they pretty much they wrote an apology, and then they were just done with they were done with trying to run tournaments. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Your mental health plays a large key factor into making sure that you make sound decisions on running events. For sure, if it can be stressful. You said yourself, you was kind of like there was like a situation where there's a little bit of frustration coming in
Mhm.
from your end because this, that, or the third wasn't working correctly for you, and that goes to be expected. That can be expected with events, especially since everything is live. Nothing is rehearsed, so it's like this is nothing that something. I mean, this is nothing that's scripted. This is
Right.
not a scripted event. So whatever's happening is happening in real time, and you're dealing with it, and you have to be mentally strong and have a strong mental foundation to deal with it and handle it. So the fact that it's not for everybody. Some people want to try to dip their hands into running the event or hosting this event. It can be frustrating. It
Yeah.
can, even with just running like a smaller event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if people don't show up to your event, you're kind of like, dang man, I don't want to do this anymore. No one's showing up. I did this, that, and the third just to try to make this happen, and nobody showed up for it.
Mhm.
And then they just walk away.
Yeah.
And that determines your character, man. So if you have, um, strong mental fortitude, you'll be okay as a TO.
Yeah.
You'll definitely be okay as a TO because it is a lot to deal with.
Yeah. It took some time. I would say for me personally, it took some time because there were times that I considered if I wanted to quit doing this, if I'm like, I'm too tired to do this,
Mhm.
or the consistency wasn't there as far as the support goes. But something like I said from last weekend, well, I'd say even the case of stuff last year, because like I said the number had nearly tripled for the tournament in comparison to last year, because it was 7 of us that competed last year, and it ended up being 17. No, last weekend. But and and which I didn't, part of it had low expectations, but at the same time was where you know I know things are not perfect, and I want things to go really well, but it really pushed me where people kept coming to me. They sensed, they understood the frustration, and they know, but they remind me that, hey, look, we're enjoying ourselves. We thank you for doing this anyway. Even if it doesn't go super well as you want to expect, if it's dependent, make sure you surround yourself with people in the community that understands and are willing to still support you regardless, and want to motivate you to keep going, because that's also the other end. Ultimately you have to motivate yourself and push yourself, but if you have people around you that is willing to push you to do better and know that you can do better, then it help remind you that it's not just you in the community, and that's what we have to do for each other. You know,
Wow.
so that's where and that's for me. It did push me to say, you know what, I wanted to have a much better internet, and wish we had all the right configurations for this and this. But people came to me and said, you know what, this was an awesome tournament. I loved it. I had a great time. I want another one. And it's like, and then it's like, you know what, everyone had a good time. You know, I thought it was gonna be this and this, but people said it was better than I thought. You know what? I took some time to myself and I had to think about it. These people, I did it for these guys, and they enjoyed it, and that what ultimately matters.
There it is. There it is. That's the response I was excuse me, that was the response I was looking for, man. The fact that at the end of the day, you did what you had to do to make sure the event was a success, and it was. People had a great time. Now people are gonna go back, spread the word. I had a good time in this event. Come with me next time when they host it. Tell that person to come with us too. We can carpool to it, and yeah, there it is, man. There it is. So I think we had a really good, healthy discussion, man, with just the two of us, just the two of us.
Mhm.
And now I want to go ahead and just segue into just some announcements and stuff like that for future events and like some final thoughts before we close it out. So on your end, Sir Retro, do you have any final thoughts or any announcements you'd like to make?
Yeah. Give me a second. I actually have the. Is it Oh no. I can put it over here. Yes, I actually have because we're gonna have a lot planned. We actually have stuff planned up to October, to be honest.
Hmm.
Because it hasn't been officially announced publicly yet. Well, part of it, yeah. But we are officially with in collaboration with Spike Out Nerds, gonna have our first um, official Middle Georgia circuit called Road to Easy Kai. And if I can find the that's why. Yeah, so I'll post up on here just a bit. But yeah, for those who don't know, and which pretty much almost everyone doesn't, because this has been in the talks for a while, and we made some plans with some people. So the Road to Easy Kai is going to be our first official tournament series where players can go to various, and not just one tournament, but various venues and tournaments, and get ranking points. And
Okay.
basically, Reboot is now going to be part of that, alongside the Swag on Nerds tournaments and one other place, and where basically from July up to March, where Cherry Blossom Cherry Blossom Festival Isekai tournament was officially confirmed to happen again. Because it was a huge success. That's going to be the final. So from now till the end of to March, we're going to have various tournaments to go to throughout Macon or Middle Georgia and compete for ranking points. Some will be a few events, but a lot of ranking points, and some will be more frequent but less ranking points. And yes, I'm having to make sure online is going to become part of it too. And you
Okay.
get ranking points. Of course, you still get money in between, and then you'll have the finals held at next Cherry Blossom tournament, and it'll be 15. Looking at 15 spots. The 16th will be last chance qualifier, so that way, doing the Cherry Blossom, people can have one last chance to qualify for the 16th spot for the no, alongside the 15 ranked people. But yeah, I'll have the more official details up once the graphics is done. But yes, next Saturday is our kickoff of the tournament, and it'll be at Reboot. So yes, um, Street Fighter Five, Tekken 7, and Guilty Gear Strive will be the games. We're not Super Smash Brothers Ultimate will be the fourth game. So unfortunately, King of Fighters 15 is not going to be part of it, but we're looking at expanding in the near future in the future events. And like I said, for next Saturday, outside of the tour, SNK has supported our event, and we're going to have our usual monthly. And then we are having an event happening on the 30th that um, we'll have we'll promote, as well as an event in August. We have something planned on the 10th of September, and we're still working on October. But yeah, we actually have events planned for at least next couple of months. But like I said, the main one is the 23rd, part of the first part of the Road to Easy Tour. Reboot monthly games and features are there, and yeah, so we might have some more stuff announced over time.
Okay. All right. And there it is. Those were your announcements there from Sir Retro. Thank you so much for that. And for on my end, we got Street Fighter Five, one more round again, looking to go down August 13th. We
Hey,
previous event that we had from this past weekend, we had Sam Show, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5, and it was also on the same day as the DJ Battle event that was being held and sponsored by Get Good TV.
shouts to him.
Get Yep. So the one that did the promo and the promotion work, for events and graphics,
Hmm.
graphic design too as well. They were there holding it down on the DJ Beat Battle competition. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to 44 Esports for being the host of the Street Fighter 5 One More Round series. So the next one is scheduled for August 13th. The games that are planned to be there will be Super Turbo, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5 there. So it's a three generation.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going to be a three generation event. Three was it? What was it called? I forgot the fancy name for it. But we had we for right now we'll just say the three generation event as you got Street Fighter 2, 4, and 5 there that we're gonna have going down. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll go ahead and put that post up once once everything is official as far as graphics and registration. Once that opens, I'll put that on my social media. You can follow me at Mind of Shadow Ace on Twitter here. And you can also, if you want to follow me on Twitch, it's at Shadow Ace SRK. And outside of that particular event, there is the Southern Fried Gaming Expo that's going to be this weekend.
hey.
Um, Data FGC will be in attendance. They're streaming and running a variety of different games outside of just fighting games. There's a big Mario Kart 8 tournament going on for them. They got Dr. Mario. They got a bunch of different variety of games outside of just FGC fighting game stuff. So they'll be running tournaments for that with prizes
Hmm.
and things of that nature. So yeah, that is going to be this weekend
Okay.
for sure. So shout outs to them for that event.
Oh yeah,
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Actually, some of our guys are planning to be up there.
Are you going?
I can't go. I'm
Oh,
more
okay.
likely may not be able to go, but um, I told the guys Super Turbo players, Third Strike players, and whatever's going on and stuff. I told them to go up there, so they are planning to go.
Okay, cool stuff. Hopefully, I'll run into them and we'll chat it up. But our previous winners from the Street Fighter Five One More Round series, of course, I always want to give a shout out.
Hmm.
The first champ that we had was Alex Dot Dot with his Blanca. Then we had our second champ was Milo Maz with his Ken. Then we had Neon Verte with their Menat, and then you have me, the TO Shadow Ace, who won the fourth one with his Ed. So yeah, we have four different champions of the series so far. So I'm excited to see, who's going to come through for the fifth event. Big shout outs to KB, Ham Gaming
Hey.
CEOs KB. He offers a variety, entrepreneur in the FGC. He offers a variety of different services as far as you're dating. Sometimes if you go 0-2 in bracket, say he's gonna make sure you don't go 0-2 in the dating world. So he's gonna hook you up. He's gonna hook your profile up. He's gonna give you some life coaching
I like that.
advice, and he's gonna make sure you close out the set. So big shout outs to the life of KB. KB, you can follow him on Twitter. Again, Ham Gaming CEO, extraordinaire, entrepreneur, and he's one of the founders of the Street Fighter Five
Oh
One
yes.
More Round series. So big shout outs to him on that. But with that being said, I think that's going to close it out, man. I think we had a really good, strong discussion. Got a lot of good points out our way, and stay tuned for episode 9. We're still working on episode 9. Again, I got to follow up with a few people and see if we can get this episode 9 underway. But for right now, we wanted to give you guys sort of like a filler arc episode, and this is the. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So this was 8.5. Again, this episode will be archived and it'll be uploaded to that that Reboot Retrocade Gaming
Hmm.
YouTube channel. So, yep, once that's up and updated, I'll go ahead and post Retro sends me that information. I go ahead and take a listen to it while I'm at work, while working on some projects, and then yeah, I'll post a link and then let you guys take a look at it. But again, take a listen. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate that support so much, man. We can only just grow from here. FGC Chris, Warden of the Sand, and anyone else, Knowledge Re-Up, who was in here earlier, but he dipped out, came back, dipped out again. We appreciate that, and just everybody else, man, in general that's been listening to the live broadcast. We appreciate you guys so much, and I think that'll be it. You guys have a good night, Sir Retro. Any final words?
Yep. Shout outs to my Bill Georgia crew for like undying support. Definitely, 5 years next year. Well, it's been 5 years since we've been in tournaments here, but next year is the 5th year of Reboot Retrocade gaming. So definitely keep an eye out on some stuff because I'm looking forward to having a nice surprise for that. I'm doing
The 5 year anniversary.
yes,
Hey,
definitely.
hey! Oh my gosh! Congratulations, man. That's what's up.
So
That's what's up, man.
like I
Much
said,
earned, man.
without
Much
these
earned.
guys, Dice, I see you, man. Like I said, one of our Middle Georgia legends, definitely good stuff once again at Retro Rivals 2. And thank you for everything, for being the big brother that I never had. So appreciate it, man.
All right, guys, and there you have it. You guys be safe. Take care. Appreciate you for tuning in, and stay tuned for episode 9. You guys have a good night. This has been Shadow Ace and Sir Retro. You guys have a good one. Peace.
Deuces.